Yo mate, what up? Welcome to another lawn tip vid. Yes. So good to be back making videos in 2021. Had a good break. Thanks guys for, you know, let me have a break. You didn't really let me, but I did it anyway. But today, I'm going to show you guys how the lawn's looking after I went on holidays. Went away for about 2.5 weeks. And the lawn did suffer. I got back and it looked heaps worse than it does now. I've given it a few mows, or 2 mows, since I got back. And there's just a few problem areas. Today we're going to be using the old Protea though, not the old, the new Protea, which I haven't even used yet before. I was just changing the height of cut just then to 17mm on this thing. I'm going to cut the rye with it today, get a bit of a test, because I've only used it on the green to scalp it, so I haven't actually used this thing yet, so it'll be good to put it through. It's really my first impressions of this thing. Bulky catcher on this thing is the first thing I would say I noticed, but I mean, let's give it a run for its money. But this is the Protea 510SC. Get that up here. This thing is going to be perfect for the green. Actually would be perfect for like cricket wickets. You could probably even use it on bowling greens. Like, great for shorter cut turf. It'll be good for the green out the front as well once we get that coming back. I'll show you guys the green later, but it's looking nasty. But yeah, quickly I'll just show you guys. So lawn doesn't look too bad. The main thing that happened when I went away was we got some dry out because I wasn't keeping an eye on it every day. And some areas just suffered, as you can see. A little bit dry here. That'll come back. I'm going to do an overseed or renovation the next couple of weeks anyway, so it'll be sweet. A bit more dry off it back here. As you can see, a lot of that was actually power as well, so not too big of a dealio, to be honest. Bit more dye off here, mostly in the corners. Got a bit of nutgrass living its best life next to the shed. And then we had so much dandelion pop up in the lawn, like so much dandelion. You can see the remnants of it here. It's pretty much dead, but there was heaps in this area here. I would say there would have been like 30 plants in this area just here, and then out the front there was quite a few plants as well as some clover. Knocked that down with some Casper, which is a Syngenta product. Look, there's a bit of clover right there that died off as well. And it died within 1 app. It was not that mature though, the weeds either, because I wasn't regularly mowing and keeping an eye on this lawn. That's why the weeds seemed to pop up. It was their time to germinate too, so that's what happened. Because we had heaps of rain leading up to before I left, which promoted a lot of germination of weeds, which those weeds barricade doesn't cover. And then out the front, let's get out the front. Right, here's the front here. That's the golf club that I broke. If you guys didn't see that on my Instagram story. Dang, man. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So here's the front yard. So we've got a lot more dry off on the front. Because there's a bit more concrete out here, it does get a lot more afternoon sun. So, death, weed. A lot of death. Dirty dog. Not fun. And then a death everywhere. And then more weeds. See, there's the remnants of an old dandelion flower. Get out of here. That's dead, as you can see. So yeah, just a lot of die off, and just here as well. It just really makes me feel a little bit sick in the guts. But we'll remedy that. We'll do an overseed soonish. I might even do like selective overseeding in the spots that did die off out the front and out the back, because there's only a little bit here. Just put some seed down, top dress those little areas, and then water them either by hand, or I'll do a bit of an irrigation cycle anyway. We'll get into that in a couple of weeks. Today we just want to do some mowing and just enjoy the lawn, man. Enjoy it. Now the green, I'll show you guys that at the end of the video, but it's seen better days. Oh, it's actually really bad at the moment. And yeah, we've also got this mower here, which I'll show you guys towards the end of the video as well. Just picked that up today. It's a scout machine. Hope everyone had a good Christmas and New Year's anyway, since I haven't seen you guys since before Chrissy. Yeah, I'm really excited for this year. A lot of things planned, but it might take a little while to get into it all. But we're going to go do an update on the brother and sister-in-law's place out of town. We're going to do an update at Matt's. We'll just start working on Matt's place because I've done nothing there. Josh's place is going good, so I'll show you guys Josh's place. And then Clint's place as well. We're doing a huge overseed as well on his lawn, so we're back into it, boy. Let's try this Protea out. Give the lawn double cut. What do you think? We might do let's do a checkerboard pattern today and test this mower out. Mowing done like a dinner. Pretty impressed with that mow, to be honest. Now the biggest thing I have probably against it, which I'm pretty sure you could fix up anyway, is that these transport wheel axles, you can see on the sides here, stick out pretty far, and there was one point where I actually scraped against the brick against the house. Now it's the same with my Toro. With my Toro I just took those off. I'm nearly 100% sure you could take those off, so it's fixable. You just can't use the transport wheels at the same time, that's all. Catcher wasn't as bad as I thought, to be honest. It's probably pretty similar to having the Toro one, basket on the front. It wasn't that bad. I mean, there's a few spots in the corners I missed because you can't get in there. You could take the catcher off and mow them like that, or I could just use the landscape blade. It's only like half a metre in some of those areas, which half a metre is a decent chunk, I guess, really, if you think about it. But yeah, lawn, double cut at the back, single cut at the front because I did triple cut out the front 3 days ago, and I did double at the back, so evened it out a bit. Lawn's looking better than they did a couple of days ago. I tell you what, it was really dry looking a couple of days ago. These spots looked a lot worse. Starting to bounce back. Issue is we've got heaps of heat coming up, like 35 degrees on Saturday, I think, and Sunday, so need to make sure I keep the wetting agent up to this. And another reason why this dried out, I did irrigate it while I was away. I hadn't put wetting agent on for a good 2 months, and I thought it was in my easy flow unit. So down here, a little bit wet in there still, because I filled up with water the other day when I was emptying out the water from it. Sorry, get rid of the camera. So that's my easy flow unit there. So I got wetting agent in there, which then runs through the irrigation, which I didn't have it filled up, which was a bit silly. So that problem is resolved now. So every time I irrigate now, there'll be wetting agent flowing through that, and we'll stop these dry spots like this happening, because that's devastating. But I'll tell you what, I'm very happy with the lawn still. Needs a feed. You can tell it is pretty hungry. Just gone a bit off colour, and it's not a dark green at the moment. PGR has also worn off from this lawn, which, you know, it's been like 2.5 weeks since I put it down last. So yeah, needs a liquid for it, which I'll probably do in the next coming, wow, I haven't spoken on camera for ages, which I'll do in the next coming days. And then just keep mowing up, and I'm going to overseed once this heat waves passes. Right, so not going to use the landscape blade today. For you guys that, I've been actually getting quite a few questions about this through email and stuff and on YouTube. This is a landscape blade, got it from Bush Ranger. You can also get it from Old Time Parts, sorry. He's got a Facebook page. But these are rotary scissors, so they're great for cutting shortcut turf. Instead of using a whippersnipper, or whippy, it's not going to tear the grass blades and stress out those areas. It sort of works more like scissors, which is ideal. Anyway, don't need to do this because I did this 2 days ago, but I didn't do the edges, so today we're going to do the edges. So as you can see, the green is pretty disgraceful at the moment. Let's just say I made a silly mistake and I scalped way too low with that Protea on the green area. Remember when I was cutting it, I was cutting down into sand like there was no tomorrow, because I was trying to get that side level, so I was just like, I'll just keep cutting, should be right, it's cooch, or tiff tough. And something I've realised is when you oversail with some bent and some rye, it tends to thin out the stolons of the tiff tough, so there basically was no stolons in there, and so it hasn't reshot in that area. I'll show you, we'll get up close. So like here, where I didn't go too crazy with my scalp, she's fine, it's all coming back good. It just needs a good mow and some regular watering, because when I was away I didn't water this, so it's just dried out a little bit, because we haven't had rain for a bit now. Got some predicted next week though, which is good. But through here is not too bad, because I didn't scalp too bad here either. A couple of bare spots, but a lot of the runners are starting to creep back into those areas. Has been a mild summer too, so not that that's an excuse why this looks so crap, but it's why it's not creeping as much. But as you can see here, death, very bad. So there is parts starting to run, starting to move into different areas. but it is really in need of some water, fertilised pretty bad, regular mowing, and it also probably needs for me to plant some runners in those areas. So as you guys saw not long ago, I was using my blade edger, and I was basically using that blade edger to get all the runners off the edges, because quite a lot of the runners had grown in. I'll grab a bit for you. So look at this is crazy. These are all runners from the Tiff Tuff, as you can see just there. So we're going to be able to plant these in those bare areas here, and they should take pretty quickly because I've only just cut them off. And then I'll top dress it, fertilise it, water it, and just keep the water up to those spots, and we should see these plant pretty quickly. So that's basically sprigging a lawn now. Yeah, pretty simple and straightforward to do. It's sort of like seed for this type of grass, since Tiff Tuff seed is sterile. So yeah, I'm only going to be doing it on this lawn though. Technically you're not allowed to, with Tiff Tuff, you're not allowed to go say give this to someone else and give them a whole lawn just because it's registered not to do that. But since I'm just repairing this area, it's going to work like that. I could also just put plugs, like pull a plug into this area and put it in the bare spots with like a little plugger. Or we could even do it with some core holes, punch some core holes in and then punch some cores over there, and then put those cores you put at the good spot into the bad spot, and same thing. We might do some plugging down the line. I'm going to bag this stuff up, then give this a mow with that scalping machine, which I'll show you guys in a second, and get this thing repaired. Right, so here is this new mower that I got from the guys down at Central West Mowers here in town in Orange. Big shout out to Ben again for organising this for me to try this bad boy out. So this is going to be my scalp machine, or my rotary mower that can cut nice and low, basically below dirt. So as you can see, check this out. We can drop this thing super duper, like we could even take it low if we want to, past those holes there. But we can cut that down to dirt level, which is awesome. And this thing is actually designed to be like this because I've actually cut out the front of the deck. So as you can see, the front of the deck is cut out just there, so the blades are actually hanging lower than the front of that deck there. So this is just the Super Swift Big Bob Utility 21-inch mower. It's got no catcher, only side shoot, which is what we want anyway for rotary cutting, scalp cutting I mean. So the reason I use this today on this area is because I don't want to pick up the clippings. I want the clippings to shoot into those dead areas, because there'll be some runners that come out because it is quite tall, and it'll also help just retain a little bit of moisture in those bare spots as well. We put down some top dress on top of that. So yeah, the main reason why I'm not picking up the clippings today, and I want to cut a little bit lower, just so when I put this top dress down, it's easier to do. That thing is a beast. So, got these here, just going to spread them around pretty evenly and then top dress on top. That's all there really is to it. And then I've got to keep the water up to it for the next couple of weeks, just to keep on top of it. I better do it before the wind starts blowing everything away too, actually. Let's go! So this is just like, it's basically a sandy loam with unfortunately some wood chip in it, which is stupid, just from A&L in town. But yeah, just gonna basically dribble it, not even properly top dress it, like I won't flick it out, just over those areas. Alright, so don't have a lawn level at the moment because that, whose house is it at? It's at someone's house, someone's buying it. I don't know. Mal, I'll give it back if you're watching this. Anyway, yeah, I was going to fertilise it, but I decided I'll give it a couple of days of moisture, just to try to get those runners to take in the ground, and then I'll fertilise it because I don't want the rest of the lawn growing like crazy and then the runners have to catch up. I don't really be cutting it while I'm waiting for the runners to take as well. So yeah, so that's how you sprig a lawn basically. You can do it through scarifying. If you scarify like a Kikuyu, lawn, you can spread that on bare dirt, top dress it, and then water it basically like seed, and it will come up, believe it or not. Actually a little bit quicker than seed if you do it right. So I'm just gonna make sure I keep watering this all the time now. But yeah, it already looks better with a bit of dirt there and a little bit of grass clippings to make it look a bit better. I'm getting wet. But yeah, it's got this Sumi sucker thing. These things are still awesome, man. They're expensive suckers, but they are good. They're so good. I use it in the backyard sometimes when I just want to get a couple of isolated spots and I need to turn that down because it's shooting onto the concrete. Stop it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Really good to be back and shooting videos. I will keep you guys updated with everything as I always do. I'm going to do some overseeding on this soon. Still contemplating if I'm going to do a big reno on this in February. We'll find out soon enough. But yeah, loving it, loving back at doing this job. Oh crap, it's real wet. Let's turn it down a bit. These things don't take much pressure at all. You basically just have to crack the tap and that's all it needs. So I have more stock of these coming in. I've just run out of stock, but I do have another 100 shirts coming in stock. So heaps of navy ones, heaps of white ones as well, in all different sizes. So keep an eye out for those on the website. Should have them up probably in the next 2 weeks, I would say. Also, from today's video until Tuesday night, so Australia Day, in the evening, we'll be running free freight on the website again for Globe products. If you make a order over $200, you get free freight automatically applied to your order as well. So jump on the website if you want to do that. From today's video until next Tuesday, we'll stop doing it then. Just keep getting wet. But anyway, thanks guys so much for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate that, guys. And you guys have a good week. Actually, I'm almost at 100k, so please subscribe to the channel. We're this close, we're getting close. Anyway, bye.